Get out the insurance cards, get out the copays. The office is open, my friends. Brought to you by drroto.com.
Oh, good morning, everyone. It is a Wednesday. I just blinked out of existence for a minute. Am I still here, Adam?
Yes, you're back. You're back.
Okay. I blinked out of existence. I was worried Thanos snapped his fingers, and I was one of the half that got eliminated.
Still here, buddy. You're still here.
That was a close one. All right, we stay in Texas, my friend, and we have moved over to the Charles Schwab Challenge. I feel like it used to be called an Invitational. Why did they change the name?
I don't know. So many of the tournaments have changed title sponsors and changed names, and I can't keep track of what used to be what at this point. But we're at Colonial Country Club. We've played there for many, many years, so.
That's true. Do you prefer a challenge or do you prefer an invitational? Or do you prefer an open? And what's the difference? I really don't know.
Well, if it's an open danger, you should be able to openly qualify for said open, like the U.S. Open, which is coming up. Final stage of qualifying stages, I should say, are coming up in the next couple of weeks. Very exciting times. I have some friends that are competing. An invitational, you must be invited to, like the Masters. And a classic, I don't know. They just didn't want to call it anything else. A classic is just like Rocket Mortgage. They started the tournament and they're like, well, it's not invitational only. You qualify for it through, rankings and stuff. And it's not an open because not everyone can come in. So
speaking of an open, are you playing in the Michigan Open this year?
I am not, Danger. I am not.
That's sad.
Very
Sad
sad.
news for me.
Very
sad news for me. It hurts me more than it hurts you, I'm sure.
I'll have other opportunities. You can come watch me play golf.
I like that. Anyways, let's talk about PGA golf instead, though.
That sounds great.
Okay, let's get into it. Tell me about the course, the Colonial. What's it all about?
Colonial Country Club. So we had, the week after the Masters, we had one of the best comp courses for this golf course in a place that you've been to called Harbor Town.
Oh, yeah.
Think shorter golf course, more tree lined, accuracy off the tee, angles are important, lots of dog legs, doesn't favor the bombers. So we've got about a 7,300 yard golf course, only features 2 par 5s, and you're going to have a lot of approaches kind of hit from the same relative distance. So short to mid irons are going to be very important, accuracy off the tee as well as putting. Kind of a unique challenge, one that I kind of enjoy on the tour. The last 4 or 5 years, the winning score has been somewhere between like 8 and 14 under. Last week, it was 30 under, at least 30 under for the second consecutive year, despite the $25 million renovation. Anyway, not poking fun at Lanny Watkins and the team at TPC Craig Ranch. But he did go on record and say it won't be anywhere near 30 this year. You don't have to worry about that. And then Wyndham shoots 60 on Sunday to hit 30 under. At any rate, Colonial is a course that I enjoy. It's one of my favorites on tour. It's why our league is participating this week, despite it not being a signature event. So a couple par 5s, a lot of kind of medium to shorter length par 4s, but with accuracy, angles, and short game are very much a priority here. So pretty excited to see if we can identify some guys who might be flying under the radar because the recent tests, like the long courses before the PGA. The PGA was by no means long, but it was a totally different test than what we're seeing here. So I think we can find some guys with sneaky good form that are great course fits that not a lot of people will be on. That being said, we are going to have some chalk bombs this week. So looking forward to breaking it down. I think it's a great kind of week to handicap for GP purposes.
All right, so let's just get right into
it. Oh my
God,
man. Love those CC rocks.
Right at the top, the guy who's commanding most of the ownership at the top this week is the guy at the top. I'll say at the top at least one more time at the top. Ludwig Aberg played really well at RBC, has had a really solid year. Is he one of your chalk bombs, the guy at the top?
Oh, not the bomb. No, you got to go Ludwig. I mean, you don't have to go Ludwig in all your tournament lineups, but I would want to be at least even with his ownership percentage. So a quarter of the lineups that you put together at least should have Ludwig. I'm probably going to go double that. Playing in some larger.
I'm seeing 31. 31 by my simulator. It says 31.
Yeah, I got 25. You got 31. I wouldn't be surprised if it's even higher than what you have projected. He's just such a clear-cut best option. Like Russell, you would think on paper, accuracy guy, good approach player, phenomenal short game, would be the guy, but his form has not been great. He's also got mediocre course history here. So not the guy that I'm going with. He's not the guy that I'm comfortable anchoring with. Honestly, I'm not saying he should be in the Scotty neighborhood, but if you look at his odds, I think he's 10-1, and then Russell's closer to 20. So if you look at the odds to win, there's a huge differential there. It's only $300 difference between him and Henley. So he seems like a value at the top. Like I was saying, maybe he shouldn't be Scotty style, but I wouldn't have been shocked if he was more like 11-5 instead of 10-5.
I mean, look, we can go through his last like 10 tournaments, and his low spot was T21 at the Masters.
Right, and outside of that, he's not been outside the top 10 in his last five starts. So he is the clear-cut number one with a bullet in this field. His projection, I have him at about 9 points over Russell Henley, and that's well clear of anybody else in the field. So he's a phenomenal place to anchor your cash lineups. And I don't know, I think you'd be crazy to fade him completely in tournaments.
So let's get a little lower there. We got a couple of guys here I like a lot. I'm thinking that Ricky Fowler is going to see a lineup or two for me again this week.
Get low. Well, you are not alone. He's showing as the highest projected player ownership-wise in the entire field.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, I can see why. I mean, he's
got to know why, Adam? It's because out of all the guys in the top 9,000 and above, he's the one I want to go have a couple of beers with the most.
Ricky?
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. Be a good time. I feel like maybe he's a long drink guy, though. Not really a beer guy.
Isn't he invested in long drink?
He is. I just snuck that in.
Okay.
All right. If you're listening, Ricky, send me a signed hat or something. Come on.
I think
I'm
you're
on fire this morning,
there,
Adam. Adam, I'm on fire this morning.
You are. The dad jokes pre-show were awful. I'm glad you didn't take them to. Yeah. Anyway,
we'll see. It's a few minutes left in the show. Anyways, I like Ricky here. Who else do you like at the top?
I mean, if you're going to talk through the 9K range, you've got to talk a guy who's been showing much better form. 3 of his last 4 events, he's been top 15, including the PGA. He's the defending champ here. That is Ben Griffin at 9,400. Ricky is the obvious and probably most common sense play at the top, but you've also got Justin Thomas, who, if you just look at the overall sustained play for the last several years, JT is a better player than Ricky Fowler. He may not have the same form, although he just did finish T4 at the PGA. You can talk yourself into him from a course fit standpoint too, because he's won at Colonial, or not at Harbor Town as recently as last year. So we talked about that being a great comp course. The other guy that I really love up here.
Well, hold on, Adam. Hold on. Some of the problems we've had with JT over the last year or so is that driver accuracy. Is he get to club down on this course?
Very good question, Danger. I am shocked by the wonderfulness of that question. But yes, he will be clubbing down. You're right. I mean, you're on fire today. His driver is an issue. It has been a concern at more accuracy courses. He does spray it, and he got away with that at the PGA, but he will be clubbing down quite often. I think 2 or 3 wood, or maybe even a long iron. So JT loves to shape the ball is the thing. So if a course gives him clear corridors and clear shot shapes, that tends to favor him and his style of play. He's known as being a player who can hit all the shots. He's got them all in his bag. So this course could bring that out of him. Not my favorite play, probably not the direction I'm going, but you could make an argument for it, certainly.
All right, fair enough. I like it. There's a name in the 9,000s, probably the first time and maybe the last time he'll be up there this year because of recent form. But Mr. Smalley, you were all over him a couple weeks ago. We talked about him on the show. I couldn't pull the trigger. If I would have won our family contest by probably about 30 points, but I didn't do it. But they've got him all the way up to 9,100. His last appearance was 6,100, sir.
Yeah, that was a crazy soft pricing week at the PGA. But with that said, I mean, he's been more like in the $7,000s to $8,000 range. But you can't argue with the form. He's got 3 top 10s, including 2 second place finishes in his last 4 events. Granted, one was a team event, but on his own, he's been T14, T7, T17, and then T2 in the final group, leading almost all the way through at the PGA. Like, you can't argue with the form, certainly. I guess the question is, has he been partying hard with his mom since his best finish to date on tour? Or is he refocusing? I joke about his mom. They have a very unique bond, we'll say. I'm not personally going there. I just lack of course history, and I like the guy $100 more than him.
Okay.
Sitting right there at 9,200. So that's the direction I'm going in the 9K range. Probably not going to get on the chalky Ricky. He's just burned me too many times, and I could see him being that disappointment. So for me in the 9K range, Spawn, Griffin, and who else did we say? JT as a tournament play for sure. I mean, you could talk yourself into JT being the second best player in this field, and he's the 4th highest priced player. Granted, I don't know what his ownership looked like for you, but he's at about 24% for mine.
Well, I mean, I could tell you if you gave me just a moment.
Tail me.
I have got him at 20.5.
Yeah. People are probably thinking like we're thinking. With that said,
I got JJ Spawn at 14, though. He was the lowest in the 9K and up range.
JJ Spawn at 14 sounds way better to me than JT or Ricky over 20. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's just keep on moving then. Let's get down into the 8K range. I am looking at Keegan Bradley at the top here. Pearson Coody, performed pretty well at RBC Heritage if we're looking at comp course. I thought he looked pretty good at CJ Cup. I mean, I was a little disappointed. I had him at the Masters and the PGA Championship, and he missed the cut spectacularly. But what do we think about Mr. Coody?
Coody is kind of looking like more of a gain strokes off the tee, gain strokes with the putter guy recently. In both of his, really in 3 of his last 4 events, like he gained around the greens at Truist, but last week he gained with the putter almost over 2 strokes around, gained over a stroke around off the tee, and just bled strokes on approach and around the green. So as important as the approach play and around the greens play are here, you're going to hit a smaller percentage of greens with the greens being smaller. I don't know. He's going to have to rely way too much on his driver and putter for me. So Coody's not the direction I'm going, even though he is a Texas boy. I know we like that. But I'm more than likely going to a couple other guys in this range. We talked about Mac Meisner last week being a pretty enticing play in the mid 8Ks. I think he was 85 last week. I like Mac's game here. He's kind of a gain strokes in many different areas guy. He's been looking pretty good on approach recently, gaining in 3 straight events. His putter has been heating up. I could talk myself into the M&M guy again. And then our boy Rio Hisetsune showed some decent form last week coming in at T19. The thing that I liked, his approach play was good. His off the tee play was good. He's normally a solid putter and a little better than average around the green. So if those 2 things come back, I like Rio to potentially contend this week. And he's going to be a lock in a lot of my lineups. Although, a lot of people are looking at him. He's the 3rd highest owned in this range that I have projected. I like him as a pivot. Harry Hall is going to be very popular. He's a phenomenal putter in this course. Kind of, the putting stats pop a little bit here, but Harry just, I don't know, man. He just doesn't do it for me here. Not accurate enough off the tee, and especially when he's the most popular guy in this range as far as the projections.
Well, Mr. Simulator says that Keith Mitchell is the play in the 8K range. That's what Mr. Simulator says.
Keith, I am not buying high on Keith Mitchell. There's not a chance that's happening, Danger. Does gain consistently off the tee, but that's about it. His approach play is usually better than average. I just think there's too many places Keith Mitchell can make dumb mistakes. Like, I would call Keith Mitchell sort of a rich man's Luke List. If you remember my long-term painful relationship with Luke List, which, by the way, is completely, I don't even pay attention to what he's doing anymore. He had a great week last week. He played into the weekend, and I think he finished top 30, Luke List. But I don't even look at his stats anymore in case he has some sort of resurgence. But yeah, Keith Mitchell, not for me, man. Way too volatile. Way too
Simulators
volatile.
also like your guy Mac. So they're in there. Samjay had kind of a hot couple of weeks recently. What do you think of Mr. M?
I want to give you my favorite tourney play in this range, though.
What about Samjay? Come on now. T5 cut, T9. Come on.
Sanjay's approach play has been brutal. I have my tourney play of the 8K range for you, though, if you're ready.
I'm ready. I'm always ready.
He's a bomber.
Okay.
We've talked about that. Doesn't really matter here. However, he has a great track record of doing well at club down courses. Finished T8 at a comp course at the RBC Heritage this year at the Harbor Town, the aforementioned Harbor Town. Has been gaining on approach in 7 straight events. Coming off a miscut at the PGA, which really didn't suit his game. We got Gary Woodland at 8,400, Danger.
I knew you were going to say that because I had him starred in my simulator. The simulator likes him. He's won this year. He played well on the comp course. And I like when he gets cut from the last thing people watched because that usually means a little less ownership.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm all about it. He might be one of my core plays in this range too. I mean, it feels safer betting on Rio, but there's no doubt. Like Gary Woodland is a better player, has shown a higher ceiling this year and previous than Mac Meisner. You know, Mac's never won on tour. Yeah, I like G Wood.
All right, I'm into it. All right, let's get down into the 7,000s. We can come back up if we need to. But there's a couple of names in here that have hit the simulator. The simulator loves Yella Marahu. He's just like that guy that the simulator just loves every single week. Scores big, DraftKings scoring, so that always helps. Tom Kim, a couple of those guys, big DraftKings scorers. But do any of them fit this course?
Sure. Yeah, some of the guys do. The one that I'm surprised that I didn't hear you mention is the player I was on heavily last week, who started off horribly in round 1, fought his way back to shoot even par after being 3 over, I believe, through 3 holes. And that is my boy, Max Grazerman. I call him my boy because he was close enough to me during his playoff at the Rocket Mortgage Classic. He was close enough to smell my breath. Very close to him on some tee boxes, but Max is trending really well. The approach play is what really makes me excited coming into here. He's normally a great putter and actually lost strokes putting last week. He was creating so many birdie opportunities. So I'm always banking on a guy who his trends look good. T31, T14, T9. We love a pattern, Danger. T38, T31, T14, T9. He's trending better every week. So he's going to top 5 this week. Like, that's just the math. That's just the pattern.
Well, I have to tell you, the simulator disagrees. They have him scoring under 60 points this week, and that's not enough. It's not enough, Adam.
That's man versus machine. I mean, I've got like 3 guys in this range who are projected over 60, and he's projected at 59.8. So I don't know. I would argue with your simulators on that one.
Don't argue with my simulators. They can't argue back. It's not nice.
Man versus machine. That's
not nice
the problem.
Yeah, it's got Yella Marahu up at 65. I like that. He's a top 12 in my simulator overall as an optimal play. And I just like to say the name. It's just fun. So I'm there.
You do. You like to say it incorrectly, but you like to say it.
I know. That's my thing. How long have we been doing this? 7,300 Andrew Putnam. He's come up on our show quite a bit. Simulator likes him. Does Adam like him?
We are dipping down like the Dippin' Dots. I'm tired of Dippin' Dots, man. They've been the future of like ice cream for well over a decade.
They're terrible.
now.
They're just freezer burned ice cream chunks. They're
so
terrible.
bad.
They're awful.
They're
things.
so
terrible. So terrible.
Yeah. Do you want to put something in your mouth that immediately makes it hurt so you can't taste anything, and then when the taste does come through, it's not good?
That's true.
Dippin' Dots.
If you like Dippin' Dots, please comment. I'll make sure to ban you from the channel. All right.
Thank you. Yes, we are a no Dipping Dot show, anti Dippin' Dot. Look, I don't love Andrew Putnam. Just in general, like we've liked him at some accuracy courses before.
Mm-hmm.
He showed well at some longer golf courses, which you would think he wouldn't necessarily pop at. But Putnam's a dude. Down here, we've actually got some value of guys that are much better than him, including Yellow Mara, who our boy Rico Hoey at the same price. We love Rico. We don't love Rico anymore. But there are just some flat out better players down here, including your neighbor who was first round leader last week.
Yeah, he was.
Mr. Taylor Moore at 7,500. He was first round leader. Maybe
was he on your list last week? I can't remember.
We mentioned him. We weren't like crazy high on him, but Davis Thompson's dead to me at 7,900. He made my lineup last week and was like the only guy not to pop in the entire upper 9K to 10K range.
How about going right back to Tom Kim? I know that I was on him for the Byron Nelson, but maybe I was just a week early. Maybe it was a little flop lag on Tom Kim.
No Tom Kim for me. Look, there's a couple guys that I think need to be talked about here. Tony Finau just had his best finish in a while. I think it was very much a mirage. He's lost strokes off the tee in 4 events coming into last week, gained over a stroke. Now, here's the thing. This is not anything similar to what we saw last week. They're both in Texas. That is where the similarities end. I'm not going to use your Apple joke like you said before the show, but that's where the similarities end between these 2 Texas golf courses. Finau, I hope he is as highly owned as they're projecting. They've got him as the second highest behind Max Grazerman in this range. Take him. Finau is all yours. You can have him. I like a gentleman just below him. I'm still a little hurt when I say his name, but another M&M boy who had 4 straight top 25s before the PGA Championship and just broke our hearts by uncharacteristically losing a bunch of strokes on the greens. That's Matt McCarty. Matty McCarty, I'm coming back to him. I love this type of course for him. Let's see. What did he do at RBC? T12 at RBC Heritage. Very similar course. And you also have a guy in Andrew Novak who finished T16 at the RBC Heritage, lighting it up on approach play recently. T26 at the PGA. Love Andrew Novak here. I think he has winning upside at 7,500, and there are not a lot of guys you can say that about, particularly not Andrew Putnam.
Fair. Well, I'm a strong believer in flop leg. I feel like quite often I pick a guy who has a very rough week, and then the next week I say, forget that guy, and then he finishes top 10. So Matt McCarty might be back in the lineup. I don't hate it.
It could be worth it, man. Could be worth it.
I don't hate it. What happened to Sam Stevens? Why isn't he scoring for us anymore? What's the deal?
I was just looking at these 2, man. You have Sam Stevens and you have JT Poston right next to each other. When they were good, they were doing it in different ways. Sam Stevens kind of turned himself into that driver putter guy. When he pops, like he did at the Texas Children's Houston Open, very good off the tee. He was good on approach that week. Good putting. That was a 5th place finish, his best of the season. Yeah, he's just kind of been losing strokes in different areas. Like the wrong stuff has been going wrong for him in these weeks at the Truist and at PGA. Before that, he was kind of hot, but a little too streaky for me. Losing strokes off the tee 2 weeks in a row doesn't really make me excited to play him this week. Then you got Poston, man. I got to talk. We used to love the Postman.
We did.
In a tournament like this, he would have been an automatic,
Yeah.
We loved the Postman, but it's been sad to see him fall. Best finish of the season at T21. Now, could he get hot with the putter and pop this week? He could, but I don't want to bank on someone who used to be a great putter, who's now been showing average putting numbers, having a great week on the greens. So Probably
All
took
right.
too much time talking about why we're not playing Poston, but we're not playing Poston.
Maybe. Yeah, don't play Poston. All right, heard. What about my third cousin twice removed on my great aunt's side, Eric Cole?
Oh,
He pops in
yeah,
the
Eric.
simulator. Pops in the simulator.
Yeah, I don't mind Eric Cole here. It's not a guy that I'm going to be excitedly playing. Like, I'm not going to click him in as many lineups as he's projected to be owned. You know, if I do a 20 max entry, one of my new favorites is the 20 max entry.
Love the 20
He's
max.
not going to be making it into that because he's projected 10%. Although he does model well here, he's just too volatile for me. There's too many rounds where he loses like 2 to 3 strokes on the field and just kind of shoots himself out of it. So, although he does have good form coming in, it's just not for me. It's a no for me, dog.
It's a no for me, dog.
We got Bauschu right below him at 72, man. This guy's turning into one of the value plays of the season the last few weeks.
Yeah.
What does your model say about Zachary Bauschu?
I mean, he hurt my feelings. I played him at the Children's, and that hurt my feelings. Hurt my feelings a little bit.
Okay, that was over a month ago. Danger. We did. Talk
I know.
Almost
I know.
2. As
you know, they don't hate him. They actually they have
8 weeks
him.
ago. Did you get over it in 8 weeks?
They have him a half a point ahead of Max Grazerman, and they have him at 4%.
Here's what I like about him:
4% owned.
I'd be surprised if he was 4% at 7,200 coming off of a T6, his best finish of the season.
And just a quick reminder, sir, when I talk about my simulators, they are over at dfshero.com, and for 20% off, just type in promo code DOC. Boom.
DOC, in case you were thinking like a lake dock.
That's right.
Okay. Yeah, Eric Cole's fine. Zach Bauschu is my preferred at 72. He's starting to show some upside. Now, last week could be a little fraudulent. It was just a weird week. Like, some weird players popped, as well as, you know, Scotty and Wyndham and Siwoo, some of the more elite tee to green players in that field. Your boy Castillo's down here, 7,100. I'm not a huge fan this week, but if the models like him, go for it. What I want to take a look at is, do we have a weather advantage here? Is there a weather wave advantage either direction? Also, the Irishman that caught my attention last week, but I've noticed Mr. Seamus Power did so with a lot of putting magic, which I don't expect. So don't get sucked into the trap of seeing that T19 last week, because Seamus is unlikely to repeat that performance.
All right, so moving down a little bit further, maybe a lot bit further. Let me figure out where I was going here. Where's he at? There he is. A name that popped up a couple of years ago that we haven't said once, I think, in the last 2 seasons, pops up as the value play of the week over at DFS Hero. Vince Wally. Double cuts coming into this. Why would the simulators like this guy?
Yeah, I mean, you say Wally, I say Whaley. Whaley. Call the whole thing off. Are you dipping down to the 6s?
I mean, I was just looking at who was the simulators liked in this range, and that said Vince Wally was the guy. Wally.
The value fella. He's an incredibly inaccurate driver. He's coming off of 3 straight missed cuts.
Yeah, this is what I like. This is what the hidden gems. That's what I'm looking for here. It's not him, is it?
I mean, he's hidden. He's definitely hidden. You could talk yourself into him being a very good putter.
Okay.
And around the greens player. He could scrap to make the cut, but if he does, I'd see him like falling down to the bottom 10 of players who make the cut and not really being a value after all.
Okay.
I mean, Zach Blair's a very accurate driver. His profile fits this place very well. Good approach play. Very accurate driver. He tends to take advantage of his opportunities, Mr. Blair.
Okay.
Like, when he has a course that fits him, he's kind of like call him like Tom Hoagie light.
Sure. Well, the only course he's like scored on the year was Puerto Rico.
Maybe on the PGA Tour. He played at the Colonial Life Charity Classic on the Corn Ferry earlier this month and finished second.
All right, like that.
It's a big deal. It's a big deal. Like I said, he's not a guy who's played a full schedule on the PGA Tour, but he's very motivated to get back to having full status. Let's see if he played here. Did not play here a couple of years ago when he had his full card. But the course should suit him. I think there's a reason why he's here. Maybe because he's not getting invites to play very often. But I like it. All right, I like it.
All right, the first 6K guy that pops in the simulator. Well, I shouldn't say pop. The highest scoring simulated guy in the 6K range. There's two of them almost exactly tied at 69 each. Max McGreevy and Austin Smotherman. I don't know about pop, but they're there. There's a mention. Here they are.
At 6,900 each. Okay. I
Yep,
thought you
and
meant
then
69
Kevin Roy is right there at
points.
69 as well.
Yeah, I mean, you do have if we're calling Zach Blair the poor man's Tom Hoge, you have the rich man Zach Blair there at 6,900 as well, coming off of a very good finish last week at T6, T26 at the PGA. I think Hoge is just rounding into form here, just at the right time.
I feel like we really missed on Hoge last week. I feel like he should have been in our lineups. I feel like we missed on that one. I remember watching him in the leaderboard and just thinking, man, Adam and I missed this one.
Yeah, and you know what? I don't even remember what his price was last week, but it wasn't
7,000.
7 even. Yeah, we did. We missed heavily, and that happens. Sometimes you got 100. This is great. We actually have a full field halfway cut event. These are preferred. The signature events are great because you get all the best players, but the no cut stuff, I don't know, it just bothers me after a while. I think Hoge is a very safe, like made cut, reasonable upside type play. You got a guy who does typically like this area. He's a very good Texas player. He's a South American, not usually a great putter, but very accurate. Good approach player, and that's Emiliano Grillo sitting here at 69 as well. Could definitely see him popping. And you got homeless Hubs right here at 68 as well. Another veteran who tends to take advantage of his opportunities at shorter golf courses. Did finish second, combined his phenomenal approach play with great putting at the Myrtle Beach Classic. I do like Mr. Hubs sitting there at 68 as well. Finished T28 here last year. Tends to putt these greens very well. Gained strokes in, I believe, 3 consecutive years on the greens at this course with a T9 a few years ago. I like Hubs to potentially pop this week.
Dig it. All right, what else we got down here? Because I kind of want to play. I really kind of want to play Abear and who did I say I was going to play up there? JT or Fowler together. So I gotta get another kind of low guy to go with McCarty and Yella. So who's it going to be? Who am I going to lock in this mid 6K range? Because that's kind of where I need to be to play two of the top price guys. I got to find somebody in this kind of mid range 6Ks.
Yeah, I think if you start two guys up top, averaging around 10K, you got to probably get two guys in the 6K range or low sevens. The one that's popping, I'm surprised you didn't mention him in your models, but coming off a 4th place finish last week, T19 the week before at Myrtle Beach, really finding some form here is Jackson Suber. I believe he's an Ole Miss product in college, and tends to like playing in hot weather, given that he's a Southern boy. It's going to be around 90 every day this week. I did not see any sort of weather wave advantage here. The maximum sustained winds will be around 11 miles an hour. That's not until Saturday. So just play the guys that you like this week.
And Adam, honestly, he looks like a guy who's invested in Charles Schwab. So, yeah, I can get into it.
He does. He looks like one of those just good old Southern boys. Just likes to live the simple life, wrangling his steer.
And has a good stock portfolio.
He probably has a good stock portfolio. He's had some high finishes. Hopefully he invested the winnings wisely. But yeah, I think Suber is he's going to be the most owned guy probably in the 6K range, down below the 68, 69s. So if you're looking for a mid 6K range, he's the safe play. I think he'll probably be at least 4 to 6 people will click him in our home league.
You think so? That many?
Yeah. I mean, he's too cheap. Great finish last week. Solid finish the week before.
Well, and obviously our whole league watches our show and steals our plays.
That's what I'm saying. This is why I'm talking about him and not my other actual favorite plays.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's helpful for the people.
Game theory. Well, the people I'm worried about, but I'm more worried about winning our damn league.
Oh, okay. I got one guy starred all the way down here at 6,400, a Chandler Blanchet.
Blanchet. We have mentioned him recently. He's kind of showing that he's very much a boomer bust guy. Now, what you like about his profile is that he is accurate and he's very good on approach play. What you may not like, I don't know why anybody would, is that he's very poor around the greens and his putting tends to leave something to be desired. Now, if he can put it together, if he can keep it in play off the tee, his approach play and his putting at RBC Heritage, a nice comp course, were both very, very good. Again, Corn Ferry guy, so doesn't have any course history here. But the fact that he did put together a good finish at the RBC makes me a little more confident. He comes off a cut last week. Approach play was terrible. Putting was terrible. It's a totally different test this week, though. I'm willing to forgive on that. Don't hate Chandler Blanchet as an upside play, but just know he might have jacked as early as Thursday.
So right there at 64 is my value pick last week, David Skins, and I should have looked at his profile picture, Adam, because I would have again said that the Ping sponsored hat is the ugliest hat in golf, and I would have known better.
It's pretty bad. I will mention as well, it kind of looks like he's been constipated for a couple of days in that picture.
It also kind of looks like he's getting ready to race like in the minor league F4, like the F1 series. That's what it kind of looks like. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could. Yeah. Sure.
Yeah. So I'm not going back to him. I was a little sad. I thought I was all over it last week with your endorsement and the simulator liked him okay, like way at the bottom, and then he was okay. He was like 2 under day one, and then he just couldn't finish it off for me.
I know, and you were excitedly like, "Holy cow! Look at this low ownership on David Skins," and then turned out the majority that didn't click him were correct last week.
The smart ones, yeah.
He's gonna show fine this week because he's got a great short game, good putter, but I don't know. I feel like he burned us last week. We must stay mad at him. I already mentioned Zach Blair at 6,700.
Yep.
Getting back to some guys who might actually be decent plays here. Vince, I don't hate your Vince play. The one that does pop in my projections or models here, he does have 3 straight solo made cuts in a row. His around the green play has been phenomenal, and the approach play has been solid. Typically a pretty accurate driver. That is the Canadian, Mr. Adam Svensson, with 2 S's at the end. 3 total.
It's a lot of S's.
Adam Svensson. You'd think he was like Swedish with that name or something, right? Swedish?
Yeah, no. Yeah.
You put an apostrophe in there, it could be a guy named Sven's son.
It could be. It could be a guy named
His name is Adam.
All right. Anything else down here deep and dirty that we should look at?
Deep dirty. I mean, there's a couple of old dudes here. They're not as deep, but they are dirty. It just feels dirty clicking Webb Simpson's name. He's just.
I mean, you might as well just go to Vijagas if you're going to go Simpson.
Oh, Vijagas. Did you say that? I was thinking Kuchar. You're going to go old and scrappy and dirty. You could go Kuchar. Cut, T24, cut.
Ugh. Oh man, he's had a terrible year.
You could do a lot. You could do a lot better. He's too old, man. He's going on 48 years old. He's over 4 years older than me. I mean, that's and older than you even.
Hey, EVR had a top 20 week last week.
He did. So much short game. It was all, I love EVR.
I know.
I was listening to an interview with him on this golf equipment podcast, back in the winter, and the guy was like, "Hey, I think you're in for a big year, man. It's fine. You're turning the corner. You're finally turning the corner." He's had like the worst year he's had in almost a decade. Just can't do it. He's not going to be that much better than everybody else around the greens again. And if he is, good for him. I'm just not going to play him. One guy, okay, I will mention this. A little down, a little dirty. He did it with uncharacteristically good off the tee play last week. So if he gains, he's going to gain on accuracy. His approach play is not usually good at all, but last week it popped. He popped around the greens. He's normally very good around the greens. We got Kensai Hirata here. We've actually got three Japanese fellas here at 6,400. Kita Nakajima being another one. Yeah, I mean, I think Kensai showed some things last week. He kind of fell off over the weekend on Sunday in particular, but top 20 and very good off the tee approach and around the greens play. He's usually about an average to slightly below average putter. So 25 years old, still coming up. I think Hirata gives you some reasonable upside here at a course like this, given that he is a very accurate player. Played well at the Sony, another course that's not particularly long, very good off the tee on approach there. Yeah, if you're scraping down here, man, Hirata, you could do a lot worse.
And I will figure out a way to do a lot worse. I promise you that, sir. I promise you that.
Probably.
All right. Well, I loaded in Aberg. I loaded in JT. I got McCarty. I got Yella. I got Bashow. I still got 7,400. I don't feel awful about it. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, just put in Sudarshan, Yella Marahu. Just put in Sudarshan.
I like him. All right. Anyways, all right, my friend. Let's us round this up, and let's go back to the top. Who's winning? Is it just Aberg by like 4 strokes?
I wouldn't say by that many. His putter is shaky. He usually has at least one terrible putting round, and it's a tough course to separate on. They're usually very condensed at the top. Maybe not as condensed as like the PGA Championship where Aaron Rai finally separated. But by the way, Aaron Rai, dude, this would be such a phenomenal course for him. I don't get why he wouldn't play here. He's had the week off to chill and celebrate, whatever. I guess you do what you want when you're a major champ, but this would be a phenomenal course for him. I do like Ludwig as the clear-cut favorite. I want to say, just because of the ownership, I probably won't play him in DK, but like Ricky, he's been playing really well for a long time. I know world ranking and FedEx Cup and all that, but he's 15th in the data golf rankings. He's been sustaining very, very high level play. If you go back to the very beginning of the year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We got 7 top 20s. 3 of the last 4 events, he's top 10. If I'm wagering on one other person up here, it's probably him.
Yeah, I mean, I liked him at the beginning of the show, so I'm gonna go with Ricky. I mean, Aubert, I think you can just click him anytime you want. He's gonna score points for you. But if you want to move away, I mean, all these guys are going to be super high owned just because of their names in this kind of a field. So you're not really going to separate by moving to any of those guys unless you're going to just avoid the 9K range altogether, which I don't recommend in this field this time around. How about down in the middle range, that 8K range? There's not a lot in that 8K range. It's only a handful of names. You said you liked Woodland. Are you confident enough to say that's your guy, or do you want to go into the upper 7s as well in this range?
No, I'm going to go. If I got to name just one in the mid here, because of the value he provides relative to the other guy I like, I'll go with Matt McCarty. I'm turning over a new leaf here. I'm going to try and forgive and forget. I love Grazerman, but I think McCarty, because of the discount in ownership, I will take Mr. Matt McCarty instead.
Yeah, I mean, I hate to be a copycat this week, sir. But no. again, my models point me to McCarty, and I like my flop leg, sir. So we're in line. We're in line 2 times in a row. Fowler, McCarty. It's not good. It's bad for everyone involved.
It is. I have to fade it. I can't play him now. I can't play him.
No, you got to stick with him. You got to stick with him.
As we transition down here, it's silly to say, like, I'm not going to play him because we both like him. Like, we both like him for a reason. It's a good course for him. So I might just bet him to like first round leader and top 10. A little hedge is probably what I'll do. But I gotta like the thing in golf we talk about all the time. It's very volatile. You know, you might think Ludwig is such a good, but he's also been erratic off the tee. All of a sudden, he could get the hooks one day, and then he's got the block. Like things can get out of whack here. So don't think of these guys as such locks.
Sure.
Unless you're Siwoo last week. We knew Siwoo was a lock last week. So yeah, I will be fading Matt McCarty now that you mentioned he's a guy as well, going up to Grazerman.
Okay, fair enough. I am going to stay on the Hoagie train. I really feel disappointed that we didn't get on him in the week past, and I want a piece of it. I think he's going to stay hot at 6,900. I like that price. I'm going to go back to Hoagie.
This is like reverse flop lag. Like, we'll call it lop flag because
there you go.
Wish I was on him last week. Had a great week. Of course, it's going to continue. Why would it ever not continue? It's golf.
That's
Everybody
right.
always rides a good week into the next week.
That's correct.
I mean, diving into what he did have a phenomenal approach week. He's a good approach player. He's actually one of the best in the shorter iron, mid-iron buckets that we're looking at this week. And his putting has been showing very, very well, which is not his normal calling card. He's usually pretty accurate off the tee. Like I can't hate on it, but then is he really going to outperform all of these dudes down here? Like you got plenty of players that are good bets, including a guy we haven't even mentioned who does pop in some models in Carl Phillips. Had a T19, sorry, in Texas earlier in the year at the Houston Children's that one, the Houston one.
Yep.
So yeah, we haven't even mentioned him, but my guy down here, the value play of the week, we haven't even mentioned him yet because I just skipped past his name. It's the other Canadian, AJ Ewart.
Yep. All right. Fair enough.
Love it, man.
All right. Listen, my friend, you know what I got to do. I need my long shot 75-1 to win, and I need my first round leader. You got to give it to me.
One single first round leader.
Yep.
We'll go Rio Hisatane.
Okay.
He's going to get hot. It's going to be hot out there. He's going to be putting that water in his mouth when he putts.
Yep.
He does that. He takes a sip. He putts. He's going to make lots of putts. Staying more hydrated while putting than other players. That's the deal. That's right. 75-1 or more. I'm going to go Andrew Novak. I think this dude has shown as much upside as almost anyone not named Ludwig in this field to contend. Like most rounds starting a weekend, I think it's most rounds starting a weekend, Saturday or Sunday round within 5 strokes of the lead or something. He's like right there with Scotty. It's a weird stat, but he contends. He puts himself in position quite often. He loves RBC. This is a great comp course for that. He finished T11 here last year. Give me Andrew Novak as your 75-1 long shot.
Man, I like everything you said. I like it. We were in a lot of agreement today, which we'll see how that plays out. Let's see how
I think I have a new idea too. I'm going to start pronouncing these guys' names wrong intentionally.
Correct.
To see if you find your way onto the correct pronunciation.
No, that's not going to happen. and I say them so confidently. I don't even trip over them. I just say them super confidently wrong.
I enjoy it. I do enjoy it. It's one of the favorite things about doing this pod with you.
Yes. Well, you know,
pronounce that guy
when we were doing these in a less legit site, you know, we had a little bit more fun. But we'll just do name pronunciations with Dr. Roto. How's that? All right, my friends, I really appreciate y'all hanging out with us. We have been in the cup, brought to you by drroto.com. Make sure you head over to drroto.com, use promo code WIN for 10% off. We're still doing golf. We're still doing basketball. We got at WNBA. We got MMA. We got everything leading up to the NFL. We've got some absolutely best in the business MLB writers. So it's not just football, my friends. You can do it all right here, drroto.com. I am Johnny Danger. With me is Mr. Adam White, and we will catch you next week. drroto.com.
Bye.
Thanks for stopping by the office. Get your fantasy prescription by subscribing to the channel and checking out drroto.com. And until the next visit, be well and take care.